Remember when items would sink in water, or when the Nether looked like this instead? And these are 15 things only OG players know, so let's get right into the video. Let's start things off with combat. Before 1.9, PvP wouldn't have anything like shields, cooldowns, or end crystal fighting. Back then everything was simple. All you had to do was spam the mouse button more than your opponent. You didn't have to worry about blowing up or deactivating someone's shield. Your only job was to get a good combo and an above average CPS count. Well, now you have to do 100 more things, which makes combat more complicated than it has to be. Another very noticeable difference between Minecraft now and then is how the Nether looked and functioned. Before, Netherrack used to have this ugly texture, which they fortunately changed. Also, back before the Nether update or 1.16, there wasn't such a thing as piglins, piglin brutes, or zombified piglins. We only had pigman and zombie pigmen. And at the beginning, the Nether was fully useless, without such things as the Nether Fortress or bastions. If you go into Minecraft right now, you'll have textures of block like these, but Netherrack isn't the only one they changed over the years. They also made ores look different, material blocks, and many others, which I can't list in a reasonable amount of time. Back before the Caves and Cliffs update, caves used to be hard to find, and even if you found one, it would have probably been super small. So fortunately now, caves are much more common and appear bigger than they used to. You even have a few types of caves, like the dripstone ones, or the lush caves. You could even end up in an underwater cave sometimes. So right now, it just makes more sense to go explore caves than it did before. Before 1.13, also known as the Aquatic update, not only were oceans totally useless, with the only mob you could find being squids, it was also extremely dark, so when you were on the bottom of an ocean, you couldn't possibly see a thing, and you couldn't even place torches, and glowstone not providing enough light wasn't usable. Also today we got things like sea lanterns, ocean biomes like warm oceans, cold oceans, deep ones, and others. And we have also gotten underwater structures like shipwrecks and ocean ruins, and even coral reefs, which were never a thing before. Another aspect of water which has changed over the years in Minecraft is its swimming animation. Back in the day, there wasn't even such a thing as a swimming animation. To stay above the water, you had to repeatedly jump, and to move quickly, you had to walk on the bottom of a body of water. Well, now we have this clean animation, which also makes traveling so much quicker and better. A lot of mobs got a remake over the years of Minecraft. For example, pigmen turned into piglins and got the ability to trade for gold. Bats also got a retexture, becoming more cute, and even Vexes changed, going from this into something similar in the shape to the LAs, which makes a lot more sense, kind of linking them somehow. A difference both noticeable in the overworld and the Nether is how lava has changed. At first it used to have this unpleasant design, but fortunately for us, Mojang decided to change it. Another rework lava god is how it affects entities. Before, mobs and players would just float in lava and not get moved by it. But now, if lava is flowing down somewhere, so will the entities within it, including items. A very annoying effect that used to happen in older versions of Minecraft is items sinking in water. This would be even more irritating if the water the item was in was quite deep. That's because oceans back then used to be far more darker, as I've said before in the video. But fortunately now, items flow instead of sinking, making finding your loot after death much easier than it used to be. Not only textures and game mechanics changed over the years. Another thing is recipes. For example, the golden apple, which used to be crafted from golden nuggets, like the golden carrots right now, instead of full ingots, making us have a much more expensive recipe than we used to have. If you use bone meal on a crop in today's version of Minecraft, you'll have to use a few of them to go through all the crop stages to get to the final one. But that wasn't the case in older versions. Back then, you had to only use one bone meal to instantly grow a crop, making it much more useful than it is now. Iceboat paths are one of the fastest ways of transport in modern Minecraft, exceeding such ways as minecarts and horses. But before there wasn't even such a thing as ice traveling, and that's because boats wouldn't slide on any type of ice, wherever it was normal, packed, or blue ice. So you'd have the same effect as if you tried traveling with boats on normal blocks. Everyone watching probably knows what a water bucket MLG is, but that wasn't the case before. In older versions of Minecraft, you needed a 2-block deep water source to not take full damage, making something like a water bucket MLG impossible to do. This mechanic will also be extremely annoying when going down, because you wouldn't be sure if a water source is deep enough. But fortunately, Mojang decreased the depth of water you need to not take full damage to 1 block, giving birth to the water bucket MLG we know and love today. Another widely known MLG that works now but didn't before is boat MLGs. If you place a boat in whatever dimension you want, you can then enter it and glide off at any height to not take any damage. In older versions, this wasn't a thing, because when trying to perform the MLG, upon hitting the ground, you take the exact same damage as if you had jumped off normally, making this MLG not a thing before. In today's Minecraft, arrow damage has a lot of variables, like how far back you pull the string, or the enchants you put on your bow. You can also choose how quickly you shoot arrows by releasing them faster than normally, but in very early Minecraft, when shooting arrows, you would instead shoot all of them at an extreme speed, like some kind of machine gun. While this might have not made any sense, it was quite satisfying. If you enjoyed the video, then consider subscribing, liking, and maybe even checking out some of my other videos, and see you in the next one.